This is the Brother SC1900, and it's a great beginner machine slash intermediate machine for those who want to begin or already got some idea on how to embroider or sew and want to do both. I'm gonna show you guys the other machine that I got real quick. So this right here is the Brother Entrepreneur PR680W, and this is what I upgraded to. I'll get into a video on this later, but for now, let's go back to the single needle. All right, so guys, this is the Brother SC1900, like I previously stated. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys a couple things I like about it, some things I don't, and how it helped me to begin my business. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start off by me telling you about the hooping size. What I like about the hoops is it's a 5x7 hooping size, so you can embroider anything that's 5x7. And for most chests, that's perfectly fine. As you can see, it could fit something nice on my chest right here. And that's one thing that I loved about it. Other machines was doing like 4x4 and like 4x6, but this one, like for the same price as other machines, is giving me a 5x7 hoop, and I love that about it. So that's one of the biggest things that got me, because I actually purchased another machine before this, and that's why I returned it. So finding that out was a game changer in itself. So let's move on by me telling you about the sewing and embroidery. All right, so let's talk about the fact that this machine can do sewing and embroidery. So right now, as it is, this is how you have it set up if you're gonna do embroidery. So it's set up with the embroidery pieces. But if you pull this piece off, this is the embroidery piece. There's a sewing piece that I got somewhere over there right now. If you put that piece on, it's ready for sewing, and you would have to change out the foot. But once you put this piece back on, it's embroidery ready. And that's what I like about it. It's so easy for you to switch it from sewing to embroidery and embroidery to sewing. It's like, it's so simple, it literally takes seconds. As you can see, I pulled this off, I just push the other piece on, and I'll be ready to sew. And then once I'm done with that piece, I'll pull it off and put this piece back on, and I'm ready to embroider. It's that simple. So the next thing I love about this machine is the fact that it can auto thread. So if you have the foot down and you push this button and there was thread in it, you would be auto threading it. And I love that about it, because if you ever use a machine that doesn't have auto thread, you would understand why this is a game changer. It's like so hard to thread a needle when it's down here. So the fact that I could pull a lever down and have this auto thread every time is a game changer, and I love it so much. I literally don't know if I would be able to or even enjoy sewing and embroidery without it anymore. The next thing I'm gonna say I'm lukewarm about with this machine is the fact that you float with this machine. So other machines, like bigger machines, you have a space so that way you're not sewing on your garment, but with this machine you're able to float. And for a long time, that's what I was doing. I floated for at least 2 years. If you don't know what that is, by the way, type it in on YouTube, how to float on an embroidery machine. It should pop up. But being able to float your garment is something you need to learn in order to really take advantage of what this machine can do. The next thing I love about this machine is the size and how portable it is. So this comes with its carrying case, which is like a little bit bigger than a briefcase, I'd say. And you just grab it and put it in the case, and then you're able to take it with you wherever you go. I love that because sometimes I wanted to embroider. Let's say I was going over a family house or something like that. I love that I could just pack this up and take it with me, and I could do my projects there or wherever I'm at. So that was a very good thing for me in the beginning, because I was just learning and I wanted to experiment with different fabrics and things like that. So anybody who had something that they need sewed or embroidered, I just take it with me to their house. Another thing to note is that it uses a regular power cord, so it could be plugged into any power socket. It doesn't have to be something special. So any power socket, once you see an outlet, you can basically plug it in. And some machines, when you start doing your research, like the bigger machines require a certain voltage, so you would have to make sure that you're not going under that voltage. So I love this for the fact that I don't have to think about voltage or anything like that. I literally just plug it up and it's ready to go. Another thing about this machine is, like, if you know embroidery and sewing machines and you've used them long enough, you'll realize that the maintenance is a pain in the butt for some of them, and some of them it's like easier to do yourself. But like, for instance, the other machine that we got, we just took it to get service, and it was a 2-hour ride there to get it serviced and 2-hour ride back. And then we had to wait about 10 days for it to be serviced and then do that whole trip again. So that could be sometimes annoying, but with this machine, there's tons of videos on how to service it online. So you can literally just look it up on YouTube, how to service the Brother SC 1900, and it should show a ton of videos on how to do it. And you can do it yourself. It's so simple. I could do it in pretty much about 4 minutes. So it's like nothing major, and I love that because I don't have to take it nowhere to get service or anything like that, and it don't really have too many issues. When we bought this machine, it was at the height of like shipping issues and things like that. So like this was jacked up about $200 extra, but right now they're online for about $1,000 bucks. So like $1,000 for this machine is well worth it. I promise you that. As long as you use it and you try to learn how to use it, it'll give you back your money 10 times at least. Because I know for sure that I've made over $10,000 with this machine. So I would say the price point is great. And like I said, I took it everywhere with me when I first started. Nowadays, I don't take it everywhere with me, only sometimes, but the fact that I was able to take it with me, I think that helped me learn how to use it a lot faster. All right, so if you guys are wondering what I did to get that over $10,000 with this machine is I started listing things on Etsy. So I'd embroider something out on it and then I'd list it on Etsy. And after a while of listing things on Etsy, started making sales with it. And that was awesome because we didn't know where we could really take it at first. So all the time that we spent on them platforms learning about this machine and making things with this machine and selling the things that we made with this machine, I wouldn't trade that for anything because it taught me a lot about being an entrepreneur and how to run a business essentially. So going on those platforms and figuring out what was trending and learning how to embroider everything out with it. Like certain things are not able to be done with this machine. Like you can't do sleeves, but you can do left chest, you can do center chest, and you can do some pants because it does have limitations. But if you can move within those limitations and guide yourself, you can do a lot of cool things. It's key fobs, it's all types of things that you can move on to doing with this machine, and that's what I like about it. It's versatile even though it's limited. Another thing I love about this machine is it takes USB, so you can plug a USB onto the side of it and be able to upload all your files to it. And it has internal storage, so once you plug it up, you can put some of your designs on there, like your frequently used design. If you always use the same designs, you can always put them onto this machine and have it embroider them out. So no more USB after a while if you using the same files all the time, essentially. And before I forget to mention, it does have pre-installed, matter of fact, let me plug it up real quick. It does come with pre-installed letters. Let me show you guys. So these are the pre-installed letters. So if you wanted to, you can write something out on there. It comes with that. It comes with like fancy letters that you can put on like something that you want to monogram. It comes with a couple designs, and these are more designs right here. So it comes with files on it already. So if you want to get started right away, also there's shapes. So if you wanted to start and you didn't know where to start, you can just literally just embroider some of these out on some of your garments. So at the end of the day, the reason why I say this is the best embroidery machine is not only do you get sewing with it and you get files with it and you can upload your own files and have them saved onto it, but overall it's way less intimidating than some other machines, like the machine that I showed you in the beginning that we also have. That's way more intimidating, having to learn how to thread that and everything like that. And this machine has tutorials on it, so if you click around, you'll find all the tutorials for the machine. And that's very useful for someone like me when I first started, because I just be playing around with the machine, but I saw that there's tutorials, so I'd watch the tutorial and do what the tutorial said. But other than that, write your comments down below if you wanted me to answer any other questions, and I'll make probably a part 2 of this video, or I'll just name it something different with SC1900. Look for that on my page.